D&D's 2024 Core Rulebooks sound a whole lot like the 2014 Core Rulebooks.
That is stupid, yay.
Welcome to Fantasy News Friday, our weekly look back at all the news not quite big enough for one video. Today, we're talking about the feedback from the latest Unearthed Arcana playtest survey, the latest Critical Role episode, and a brand new Wheel of Time board game. Now, if you like these kind of videos, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can keep making these news rundowns. Now, on to the news.
All right, let's do this.
In the latest episode of Critical Role, Keyleth is feeling much better after Bell's Hell successfully retrieved a flower that could help negate Odahan's toxins, which you may recall prevented her injuries in the whole solstice debacle from healing. Now, in fact, Keyleth was feeling so much better, she spent a large part of the episode explaining a lot of stuff to the party. It was a lore dump episode, but a cool one, with looks at evil swords, an encounter with the moon people who are technically called Raylorans, and even an inkling of a plan on how to ultimately fight Ludinus, which involves getting the gods and primordials together to once again put that entity back in its moon. Now, most importantly, Orm got a promotion. He's now the Savior Blade of the Tempest. Hey, something good finally happened to him. Good for him.
Oh, and we almost left out the best part. We finally learned a bit more about Ashton, as Keyleth revealed he contains fragments of a primordial's elemental powers, saying he was like a titan of blood, with vast and frightening potential, so that's pretty cool. So we now have Imogen with her Ruidus-based powers, and Ashton with his primordial-based powers, Fern with her contract with the betrayer god Asmodeus, and somewhere in the background, Chetney is just running around with Grazchar, a totally not demonic sentient greatsword. Just another day at the office at Critical Role.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Weapon Mastery is in, changes to the Warlock are out. D&D has revealed the results of the latest Unearthed Arcana playtest survey, and it appears that a lot of proposed changes aren't making the cut. Not only are Warlocks returning to pack magic, albeit with some sort of way to more consistently access spell slots, and we will note that we were pretty critical of the changes to the Warlock. It also appears that we are going to be losing the shared spell lists and also the Warlock picking their spellcasting ability. Now, the loss of the shared spell list, which seemed to be a big change that the D&D design team was building around, it kind of feels like with every survey that we get, we lose a little bit more of the bold changes that were proposed when this whole process started a year ago. Now, I understand that's one of the points of this D&D playtest, to weed out the stuff that doesn't work, but I do feel like the designers are fighting an uphill battle when they propose changes to an edition that's been very popular, even if it's flawed, and that game's been popular for the last decade. There are going to be portions of the fan base that don't want any changes to 5e, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't move forward with them. And, we still have a few more playtests to go, but I feel like the 2024 Core Rulebooks are sounding more and more like the 2014 Core Rulebooks. Sure, the Dungeon Master's Guide is getting a rework, and that's great. But, in terms of the player's handbook, what new systems or major improvements are we getting other than weapon mastery and the return on the emphasis of backgrounds and feats? It seems like the classes are getting little tweaks and improvements here and there, but nothing big, nothing major, nothing that's, 50th anniversary important. Basically this 2024 process is feeling more and more just like an errata, almost.
I mean, nothing they do makes any sense.
And finally, some small news out of Gen Con. We're getting a new Wheel of Time board game. Now, details about this project are still unclear, but we do know that the game is being published by Direwolf Digital, who also makes the Clank games. Now, we believe that based on the logo of this will be based on the Wheel of Time TV show, which probably doesn't please many fans of the Wheel of Time book series, but we'll get into that once we find out more about this game. So let us know what your favorite news story of the week was in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.